Now, renegade strippers, badass burlesquers, drag kings and queens. Well, enough about my average Friday night. Let's talk about red velvet curtains, the odd sequin, and plenty of ooh la la as Bristol's Burlesque Festival gets underway this very night, in fact. So, with the promise of appropriate music and the biggest of build-ups, I persuaded Tuesday it is to come in, so to speak, to reveal all.
Hi, Steve. How you doing?
It is great to see you, and you don't need me to tell you, but you look fantastic.
Oh, I thank you very much.
We think so too.
We do.
This is burlesque then, is it?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Tell us about this is about the 5th year, isn't it?
Yes.
And I know that this kind of started Tuesday when you, around about 2012, and decided that you wanted to get involved, and the Smoke and Mirrors just said, yeah, we want burlesque, but we want it quick.
Yes, Smoke and Mirrors, which is this amazing magic bar right next to the Hippodrome. They've been open for a couple of years, and they needed a burlesque show, and we needed a venue. And they were very happy to have us, but they wanted us right away. Yeah. So in the best possible sort of tradition of Judy Garland, we had to kind of put on a show in the barn in about 3 weeks.
Yes.
And then out of that, we were able to build, that's our regular monthly show, Coochie Crunch. And out of that, we were able to build Bristol Burlesque Festival.
Coochie Crunch.
Coochie Crunch. It means exactly what it sounds like.
Yes, I know exactly what it is.
Into detail.
Maybe give it another hour or so, but leave it to the imagination.
Oh, we pre-watershed.
But burlesque has been around for such a long time. I mean, we think of it sort of 20s and 30s, don't we, Des? But it goes back to biblical times practically, doesn't it?
Tuesday has often said, it goes back to Salome dancing for the head of John the Baptist. It's a story tradition that spans multiple continents, and it spans many hundreds and hundreds of years. And we're just kind of a part of that tradition, really.
Yeah. So you're emceeing. I mean, you're producing the shows. There are 3 nights, all very, very different. But emceeing and bringing in these stars from places like Oslo and from plenty of homebred as well. Yeah, Chicago. I mean, that's G's Louise, isn't it?
Yes.
So tell us about G's Louise. The Honey Badger of Burlesque.
Yes.
Yeah. Where would you be without a bit of alliteration when it comes to burlesque? That's what it's all about. But G's Louise, tell us a bit about G's.
Well, she is somebody. We're a relatively small industry, and everybody really kind of knows everybody internationally. And she's certainly regarded as one of the greatest burlesque dancers working at the moment. Oh, God, yeah. She's won a number of awards. She produced the first Black Burlesque Festival in the US, and I think possibly in the world.
I'm pretty sure she did.
Yeah. She produces a number of different shows. She's an incredible, accomplished dancer, and she has a really unique style that we're just very, very excited to bring to Bristol.
Yeah. Are you guys learning off this all the time, are you, when you see artists from across the world?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we both perform nationally and internationally, and we get to work with some incredible people who just do the most phenomenal stuff, and then we get to bring them over to Bristol and get
like the CPS Siren of Norway, Knockout Noir.
Knockout Noir.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well,
what a goddess.
We steal your heart.
I mean, G's Louise and Knockout Noir are both goddesses. Every single person on our lineup is an absolute knockout, for like a bit of word. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Knockout Noir as much as I am of G's Louise as well. And she's just stunning.
She really is. And again, she's been a real pioneer in Norway. Yeah. Which is what burlesque does. It really carves inroads in places where perhaps people only look one way, and it's a form of entertainment where everybody can do it. Everybody's really welcome. You might have to carve out your own niche.
So how do you describe it though? Because I mean, it's changed over the years from the sort of Victorian burlesque to then the American style, which was the striptease eventually, wasn't it, with a big cabaret?
The word itself is Italian, and it's from the 16th century, and it means to parody. So burlesque has always had political roots.
So it's laughing at itself, is it, as well as the sort of society?
It's about punching up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When we say parody and pastiche, it's more. It can often be very of an interesting critique on the time that we live in, and I think certainly a number of our performers, including ourselves, certainly make reference to contemporary aspects of the climate that we're living in. Certainly, part of the whole mission with Bristol Burlesque Festival is to showcase incredible people who rail against the status quo. Yeah, and that's exemplified with our incredible selection of performers this year. From G's Louise and Knockout Noir are to Ruby Three Wise Jones, who's most recently won the Most Innovative at the Burlesque Hall of Fame in Las Vegas, you know, or Frankie, who has, I mean, Frankie, who
she's actually changed laws in her hometown that are tied to burlesque and to nudity in bars and the serving of alcohol. She actually took it to the UCLA. Thank you. Sorry, and I was getting tongue-tied, and actually had laws changed.
But you talk about, you know, incredible costumes, which we can see here, without apology and question, the powerful female sexuality. They changed your world Tuesday. I'm kind of wondering how, in a way, you're getting away with this now, and people aren't coming along saying, hang on, you're objectifying, and you're doing this, and you're doing that.
Sure.
Do you sort of almost get a buy in that respect? Do people leave you alone?
Oh, no,
or do they?
no, not at all. First of all, Dis and I are very much feminists, with a capital F. And our job is to elevate women and really all genders. And that's something that we are definitely very transgender inclusive in the performers that we book. We're also very sex worker inclusive, because if you're a feminist, you have to be for every woman. And we truly, truly are. And we fully stand by all of our sisters that work in strip clubs and work in other aspects of the sex industry. And what we're about is elevating women and other genders and lifting them up and creating incredible art and entertaining at the same time.
Well, listen, it all kicks off tonight. We've missed the early show, but the late one's at 10 o'clock. But the sellouts, and, you know, if you want to get a ticket to this over the next 3 days, can you still do it or not?
Well, the Friday and the Saturday are completely sold out. There's nothing to do. The best thing I can suggest for the Friday and Saturday is you check the event pages regularly to see if anyone is unable to attend and they want to sell the ticket, but we can't facilitate that. But the Thursday, there's a handful of tickets left.
Like for the second show. We have 2 showings. Second show, like 6, I think.
Victims of your own success. Well, listen, it's a delight to see you in the Christ the Week studio.
Thank you.
Have a brilliant festival.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you do want to go along to that, practically a sellout. The best thing you can possibly do is just to get in touch with the venues and see if any returns or if there are any tickets still available. But it's a fantastic festival. If you do get a chance to get along, do so. And if you have been to it, get back in touch with me. Let me know how it went, and we'll talk about it next week. Thanks to all my guests, of course, Barry Threlfall, Maria Davidge, Steve Quinton, Simon Shilton, Ben Garrett, Tim Barford, Discharge, and Tuesday, Laveau. There we are. I said it. We'll see you again at the same time next week from all of us here. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.